Good evening.
Okay, I was trying to. Hi, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Yes, good to hear. Can you hear me well?
Hey, I love your lashes.
Thank you. Thank you. So, just a little venting. Would I say vent, but just releasing.
Okay, yeah. A
Yeah,
release is always necessary.
yeah. So, just completing my prac exam has been stretching me a lot because the kids are now home from school for the summer break.
Mm-hmm.
And they are driving me, yes. So,
Oh, so you got to put on them. What's the ages of your children?
the one six, well, going from top to bottom, my 22-year-old, he's no longer home. So 14, 12, 6, and 4. But the 4-year-old still goes to daycare, so he's not home during the day. But my 6-year-old,
Okay, yeah.
woo,
Okay.
yeah,
A
but
6-year-old. Yes, teaching 6-year-old boundaries with
yeah,
mom.
yes. I don't know. It's what technique can I use on him? Like, can you like I can use some of this technique on him at
Yes, you
6?
can. Yes, you
Okay,
can.
because I need to because
Yes.
oh my God, there's no level of boundaries at all, and it's like, yeah, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been one of those weeks, and
Okay,
I
but you
need.
get it done though.
Yeah, I am getting it done. So that's that. I'm getting it done. So yeah, so that's it. Just want to release that. A bit overwhelmed, but excitement. The overwhelming is exciting because I know that I'm
Okay.
coming close to the finish line. So
Right.
I have.
So while we
I,
wait on another person to get here,
yeah. Hmm.
um, let's talk about what do you have left? Let's talk about the good stuff.
Okay, so I have this. I have this left.
Mhm.
Participation. I have time goal and time limiting decisions. So I have that booked tomorrow. Me and Taisha, we working through that. So those are the last two that I have.
Okay.
And I'm still going through. I posted some questions in the group because I got
Mhm.
stuck on those, and I'm still going through my life and success coaching exam. But I'm pretty much I'm getting close to the finish line. I have a few answers.
So are you already done with your hypnosis and with your NLP test?
Yes.
Okay, so and you've already filled out the duplicates.
What do you mean? What's the duplicate? Oh my God, did I miss a step?
It's the same question. There are some of the same questions that are on your NLP and on
Uh-huh.
your hypnosis test will be on your life and success test.
Oh, okay, okay. So that's a nice
So
good insight.
go do that
Okay,
first. Go look and see what are the duplicates and fill in your answers again, and then you
okay,
know how much you have left.
okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, okay. That's actually it's true because I realized I was actually answering some questions and I'm like, I think I answered this already. My subconscious is saying I answered that already, but I
Correct.
didn't know where. Okay, so yeah, okay, so I'll do that. So I'm pretty much almost done. I
And
just
it
need
won't be
to
all of them, but it'll be enough of them where you should feel like you've gotten close, which I start training tomorrow. I better get out those tests. Although sometimes it feels as if I know them by heart, but I don't always. Because again, life
yeah,
happens, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And another part of the good stuff too, that I want to talk about since we're here was just I was just looking at the member, how to become a member of the coaching and the INEA.
Mm-hmm.
So that's done once Dr. Nicolia reveals that I've passed. That I do that
Correct.
after. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Good, good, good.
Yep. So
Yeah. So
yay. Yay, yay,
yeah.
yay. All right, let me double check to see if, let me see here. Okay. So tonight we're going to do parts integrated. And what do you know about parts as
I'm
of
actually
now?
going to my notes now because I've reviewed it.
Okay.
Because I wanted to know more about it. So as I went through the studies, the life trainings, I got more info in depth on that. So I was writing notes. So I have my notes, 178. I have a lot of notes. Okay. So basically, what I understand is it's when two parts are conflicting. So you're being drawn this way, you're being drawn that way, you don't know which direction to go, you don't know what decision to make. That has been my life story. I've always been conflicted with different decisions. Should I do this? Should I not? So I totally can resonate with that part. So that's why it was something that I was really interested in, and I really grasped the concept quickly because
Okay.
I've always had that issue, not knowing. Like now now that I understand it, I realize that I'm actually doing better with the conflict. But I remember that was a big problem for me, where I was not able to like get out of that state to figure out what I really wanted to do, and then end up doing something that really wasn't aligned with myself. And yeah,
Correct.
so that's pretty much.
And here's the thing, we're full of parts.
Mhm.
It's those parts, yes, conflicting is definitely that, but there's parts that can be congruent still. It could be a part of me is this and a part of me is this, but they're still very much incongruent. It's those that are not congruent, those parts that are not congruent, those are the ones that we tend to keep us away from, our values, keep us away from really feeling at the identity level, those things that we want to feel. And so whenever we're doing parts, we ask the person, is this something that you're feeling all the time or some of the time? And if they give us the answer some of the time, that means there's still some level of congruency there. And so that's not what we use this for. We use this for when they say, a part of me feels as if I want to show up in my business. Another part of me feels as if I should just stay in hiding because it's safe. And it's like, okay, ChaVonne, do you feel this way all the time or sometimes? And it's like, I always feel this way. And that's where this begins. And with this particular modality, it's perfect because we just came out of Milton and Meta. And so you start off with this asking unconscious permission, subconscious, unconscious permission. And then really when you're in with with your client, you're going to hear it instantly and you're going to jump because you're going to be like, those are parts. And so if you happen to be doing a breakthrough day, you might just take notes of that. I've been early on in sessions, and I will have them stop right then and there and tell me the names. And man, when I tell you, I've gotten some interesting names over the years. And so I'll write out those names, but then it'll be 1, 2, 3 sessions in. And all along the way, when I'm talking to them, I have them talk about, is it Olivia or is this Dusty? Is this Olivia or, oh, that sounds a lot like Olivia. Oh, that sounds a lot like Dusty. And so by the time we get to the point where I want to do this parts integrated, they're familiar with Olivia and they're familiar with Dusty. And so when it's time to talk about these parts, they're comfortable with them both being separate. But then as now I'm having the one come out and I'm asking those words, and this is much like when you're, well, I shouldn't say that at prac level because that was conversations we had at the master's level. So let me reframe myself and say, and so as we're finding those layers, and we learn about thresholds and triggers here at the prac level, but that's where we're finding once we get to the point where they're repeating with that first side, or let's say it was Olivia, And now we ask them to, now can we talk to the other part? And making sure that when we do this, that those hands are in the camera where you can see them. Now this, I've been holding a grandbaby and I'm coming off of, so want to make sure that I can, so now I can, this is comfortable enough for me, but not, it, you know, but you can still see my hands and they still can do what they need to do. And so as I start talking to, let's say, Dusty now, and I wanted Dusty to be on the palm of my hand, before long, you're going to be asking those same questions. You're going to be chunking up and chunking down the way you need to in order for them to get to where they're going. And before long, them same answers that I gave you for Olivia, those same answers was going to start coming out for Dusty. And before long, they're going to touch. And when they touch, and even if, because sometimes when they touch, the instinct is to not let them touch. But once you've seen them touch, that's all that needs to take place. So now they've touched. And then you go on with the rest of the end part of the script. And then you're just going to have them bring them together and bring them here. And it's really where we help our clients see where these are parts, but they do fit together. They do come together. They do complement. They do want the same thing. And that's the highest and greatest good for us. And they're not working against each other. We're not here to punish one over the other. One's not better than the other, but they're both there necessary. And because they're necessary, we don't have to say goodbye to this part. We don't have to tell this part to go and hide. We get to highlight it to say, hey, this part is here to help this other part, because we always want the first one the most, we want that one to dominate. But we feel like this one's dominating. And so here's our opportunity to say nobody's dominating. Every part has its part for a reason. And we help them make room for it. And when I tell you, I've worked with mothers on this in particular, and especially about how they are with their kids and the guilt around it and not being enough and things of that nature. And the clarity and the release, speaking of release that we talked about at the beginning of this, that this has brought to them. I still get, notes in my inbox on how this particular modality changed how they look at and how they parent their kids as a mother. So it can be powerful. And so I'm going to allow you to go through the script today on me. This is a rare treat because I do not let people do modalities on me when I'm in these calls. It's just because I like to be able to look and give you feedback. I'm still going to be able to give you feedback while we go through this. But just know, because you're at the end, and I don't want to have to tell you to go find someone else to do this on, is why I'm going to do this. Your commitment is my commitment. I just want you to know that. Okay. So, and that's by no means am I trying to do a guilt trip on you or anything like that. I'm just letting you know my boundaries. Mm-hmm. And respecting myself in this moment. So so I'm glad the fact that you had already went through your pre-study and you went through the lives and you were listening, you were able to give me an answer today. I know that you're equipped and you're ready to do such. Mm-hmm. And that's why I have no problem in being your client today.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, my notes.
So before we start, are there questions? Because now will be a good time to ask me any questions that you have.
Actually, I was gonna ask a question, but it's actually the answer in question 2. Like, when was it, would I have asked what part and all that kind of stuff, but it's gonna come part 2. So I think
Okay.
I got that.
Okay.
And then the other question, yeah, would have been, I will continue asking, like chunking down, like as much until I get certain words, certain keywords. Is that it? Am I
Yeah,
looking
you'll
for? Okay.
know. You'll know because they'll start repeating themselves, or they'll be real close to each other that you're like, okay, that's it.
Okay.
I can go ahead and say this to you. It's kind of like when you are doing values elicitation
Mm-hmm.
and you're looking for those outliers when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to that threshold,
Mm-hmm.
when it
Yes.
comes
Yes.
to and that's when those things start
Yes.
repeating. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay. 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 Cool. Okay.
See,
That's great.
there's value in being in going forward and being in masters.
Yes, there is. There really is. Because I remember the values elicitation. I'm like, oh
Right.
yes, I remember. It was like, getting all those words until you get all the words, and yeah. So
Correct.
okay. So
And now this, although this isn't has anything to do with values, it's the same thing as far as
same.
getting to the core of that part.
Okay.
And that's how those things work. That's just how we work. That's how the brain works.
Yes.
And you'll know, and it doesn't have to be long. So you'll know, because you don't want to, because you have to go ahead and get to the other part. And then that's when, so don't tarry too long on the one.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Like, don't wait too long to kind of get those keywords. Like,
Right.
try to go to the next one. Okay.
When once it repeats, let's say, twice, then now it's time to go to the other one, and then you uh chunk down, but you sometimes you got to chunk up because you'll know.
Mm-hmm.
And then but you're getting down to it, and then you'll get to those repeated words again, and it oftentimes are the same word, and sometimes it'll get real close, like there'll be synonyms.
Okay. 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 So yeah. Okay. I think, and I like that. I like that insight.
Mm-hmm.
So they may not be the exact same word, but they mean the same thing.
Correct.
Pretty much.
The
Okay.
same
Okay.
synonym.
Great. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna get started. Hi ChaVonne. How are
Hi,
you?
I'm doing well.
I guess great. Awesome. So today we're going to do a technique called parts integration, where we will talk about any conflicting parts. Have you heard of anyone say, part of me wants to do this and part of me wants to do that?
Yes.
Okay, so we are never in those moments in our lives where we're kind of like pulled from one different direction. So is it all right with your unconscious mind for you to integrate these parts today and for you to be aware of it consciously?
Yes.
Awesome. I wonder if I can talk to the part of you that wants, oh, I think I need to, yeah, I missed it. Did I miss a step? I have to, the part that wants to, so I guess I need to know what the problem is, right? Start with the problem part. So basically, yeah, what are the conflicting? What are your conflicting parts, basically? So what is the problem in your situation right now that you're unsure of?
Okay. Yes, a part of me wants to, eat healthy. Like I do really well. My body loves vegetables. I recently did gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free. My body responded to it lovely. My brain, everything, my ADHD, everything. Just went well with it. And then the other part of me is I love food. I'm a foodie. And so I can still be a foodie with the gluten-free, dairy-free and all that other stuff, but just the other part of me is kind of like, you know, yeah, take it there, but just, just I don't need to do all of that to be healthy. So
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So is it all right with your unconscious mind for you to integrate these parts today and for you to be aware of it consciously?
yes,
Okay. So I wonder if I can talk to the part of you that wants to eat healthy.
yes,
Which hand would it like to come out on and stand on?
this one.
Okay, perfect. Um, okay, what does this part look like, sound like, and feel like? What is the name of the part?
This part looks and sounds like just freshness, just freedom, crisp, and just truly fit and healthy and drug free. And I think the name is Sparkle.
Mm, okay, nice name. Okay, I'll also like.
I see like one of those
Mhm.
fancy um fragrance ads that you see on TV that like you can smell the fragrance over the
Oh,
television that
okay.
they do such a good job with it. That's what I see and feel.
Oh, okay, nice, awesome. Um, uh, okay, okay, you said that. Okay, I'd also like to talk to the part with which the part is in most in conflict, the flip side of the coin, the opposite number, and let's have it come out on the other hand.
Okay.
Okay. Hmm, okay. Now, who does this part look like, sound like, and feel like?
This one is like that older guy on the beach that's let himself go and he's just comfortable with himself. Like he's been in shape before, he's
Mm-hmm.
run all the laps, and he can still bench press what he needs to bench press 1 or 2 times if he needed to. But he's just content in who he is. And if he's gonna have an extra beer and a margarita, he's gonna do it because he can.
Okay.
And if I were to give this would be Freddie.
Ready. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Um. Okay. Now, who does this? Oh, I said okay. Reference this point. Okay. Now trunk up beyond the boundary and first act. Okay. What is Sparkle's highest intention?
Sparkle's highest intention is um, health in its most purest way.
For what purpose?
To keep me alive.
Okay. For what intention?
To enjoy life.
For what purpose?
To be the best version of myself.
Okay, perfect. Um, now, if you can tell me what is Freddie's highest intention?
Okay, Freddie's highest intention is to have fun, to be entertained.
Okay, for what purpose?
To try new things.
For what intention?
To make sure that I'm experiencing life to outside of my comfort zone.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So, perfect. Okay, perfect. What if? Okay. Okay, now I think I got lost here. I'm just like I'm following. I did the steps for the second part. So now, okay, so I should be looking. Okay, that's it. I'm looking at your. Okay, that's it. So I wonder if you've noticed that your hands are coming together.
Yes.
Okay. Now, do these parts notice they were once part of a larger whole?
Yes.
Okay. If there are any other parts that would like to join in the integration, have them come out, join and integrate now.
Okay.
What resources does each part have that the other part would like?
Freddie has ease and great tasting food. Sparkle has regiment and control.
Mhm. Perfect. Don't let the parts come together easily and effortlessly until they have fully integrated. Okay. So continue to give suggestion. Okay, so that's the part where I'm kind of like, so now do I have to feed back what I wrote here, ChaVonne? Is that what I'm doing? The part where it says, continue to give suggestions for integration.
It's already taking place. My hands are already touching.
Oh, okay. Okay, so okay, perfect. So take the integrated part inside and have it merge into wholeness inside. Lightly push touching your hands to the chest. Okay, perfect. So how does that feel? How do you feel now that the integration has taken place?
I feel that now I can take on and approach a vegan, dairy-free, soy-free lifestyle, but still be able to bring in the fun and the excitement that comes with Freddie.
I like that. I like that.
And so instead of looking at it from a place of lack, put on Freddie's eyes and see where is the excitement, where is the tastiness, the freshness that I'm looking for.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. So if there were a time in the future where in the past you would have had these conflicting parts, what would have happened instead?
Instead of me getting to a point where I needed to stop and go full-fledged Freddie. Now I get to challenge Freddie and say, hey, what other excitement can we find on this side of the non-dairy, non-soy, non-gluten way? Like what other ways can we be creative? How else can we make things taste better?
Awesome. That's a very great insight. And I thank you for joining me today.
All right.
How did I do?
You did well.
Yeah.
You did well, yeah. So how do you feel you did? I want you to critique yourself first.
So I felt I did well. It's just I got confused towards the ending. And that's something that I'm concerned about. Like just like I have a habit of when I do make a mistake or if I do, mess up, I will go right into it, right? But because I know you were here for support, I asked you, but I probably wouldn't have. I would have just kind of went through the script just the same because the client wouldn't really have realized that I kind of messed up, right? But so that's my thing. It's just like feeling that oh no, I missed a step. I don't want to miss a step, So because I'm reading the script, I'm like, okay, which so I just feel so that's the only thing. But I felt like because I had studied it, so I felt like I did well. It's just the part of not knowing exactly what I'm saying.
And guess what? You're not gonna have to screw up because the client gonna screw it up for you. They're gonna be telling you. They're gonna be talking like telling you a whole life story, and you're just trying to get the one little tidbit. So it's gonna come to a point where you're like, okay, and in one word, and in one word, and in one word.
Okay.
So and so here's the thing. You can use an entire or you're gonna get somebody that gives you one word and one word you can do nothing with. And so now because that's where the chunking up comes in, and before you can chunk back down.
Okay.
And more so in parts, you do chunk down more because you're go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. But there are times where you got to get them out from where they are. So you got to bring them back up to then bring them back down. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so feel free. You could have spent a little bit more time on one side, but you did get what you need. And then you could have spent a little bit more time on this side. You could have. And I think you will in your sessions. And it's important. The only thing I would say, you did everything just fine, and maybe a little bit faster with your and paring back. And again, I because I wasn't just looking, I have to play back in my mind what we went through, right? Is when I said health. Okay. And so and for what purpose? For your health. So you repeat it back in the whole full sentence. So then that gives them something more to grasp onto.
Okay. So not just like for what purpose, but for what purpose for your health. Okay.
Correct.
Like, okay,
exactly. Because they may not get it. For what purpose? Like, for what purpose? What? I knew what you meant, type of thing. And then you want to make sure that that their hands is, if it's over, that their hands is in the camera. And what happens is they get right about here. And you're like, I'm close, baby. I'm close. I'm closer than most. I'm close. And that's where that part of that you say, and don't let these two parts, and read that part of the script.
Don't let the parts come together easily and effortlessly until they have fully integrated.
And what do we know often what we say about NLP? We don't use the word don't, right?
Oh, yes.
But we do use the word don't when we don't want to use it.
Yes. 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 That's a good one. I like that. I don't know. I got that instantly. For some reason, that little complication there, I was like, oh, I got it.
Exactly. exactly.
Yeah, you use a don't when you don't want to do it, but when you want to do it, you don't use a don't. Yeah, I got it. I
Correct.
got it. I like that. I
Correct.
have to write that down. I like that.
Because
Okay.
you're understanding hypnotic language.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, so here it is, we talk about this, but here it is in one of our scripts. But again, knowing when to use it and when not to.
Mm-hmm.
And a not is another one. I saw your question in there.
Yeah.
So we got don't, we got not. All right, we getting them, we getting them. So
yeah, we getting them. I know. Thank you.
yes. So yeah, but making sure that the hit, and then so when we're saying that, before long, they're gonna want to touch.
Okay.
And that's where, you start using that, you're like you said, reading that part of the script and getting them. And then if you're in person, that's when you're able, and they're like really close there, that's when you can take the person and bring them together and bring them to their heart once you feel as if that integration has taken place.
Okay. So the suggestion for integration part, what would I be saying in that part? That's why I think I stumbled there, but I'm not realizing that the integration was already done. But if it wasn't, like, what would be what I would say there? The information I gathered from the client.
Yep, you can use that. And I don't have my script open right now, but go back to there, because there's some words that it starts telling you. You started reading, like, do you remember that these parts were once together?
Okay, yes.
That stuff, and you start asking those questions. And
okay, yes. Perfect. Okay, so that's what I'll be doing, and that's a step of what you. Okay, I get it now. Okay, and then once the integration has been done, then they put it up to the chest and they.
Correct. And so that's why once you start doing all of that, and then when they touch, up into that, and that's you're doing all that talking and all those things, and then you're asking the question, that part, and then once you see, like, that's when integration has taken place, and that's when you say, and so now go ahead, and I want you to fully bring it together, and because it might have touched, and then for whatever reason I brought to go ahead, and you can have them bring it on back, and then bring them on into their heart space. So that they and that moving and it's together is bringing those parts together as one and bringing them in to the body.
Okay, perfect. And the text and future pace, I the future pace I got down pat, actually, because I've been doing it often, so I remember.
Correct.
Yeah, I was like, did I just say all of that? Like, okay,
yes, you did with the ease. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the test part, could I have improved on that part, or was it okay?
Nope.
I just said how are you feeling now? That's good, right? That's a good example for test, or should I be going more in detail? I feel that there was like probably a little bit more words I should have added, but I'm not sure what words. So that's all I'm saying.
The test is if this were to have happened, no, it's now that this have taken place.
Okay.
How would you now? Going forward? How would you react?
Okay.
Say, I'll react this way. And then the future is, but I mean, test and future pace.
It's together, right?
Yeah. Yes. In this particular, it can be like the way you did. It worked out fine. I wouldn't change it.
Okay, perfect.
But there are
some parts where the test is different, where it's like a different, like how are you feeling now to see, correct. Like, and then the future pace. So I thought it, but this one I noticed it just went smoothly.
No, but you did that. You asked me how as of now that and I think you even said it. Now that these two parts, how are you feeling now? And I gave you an answer.
Okay. Yes, you did. Yes.
And then you read the future pace. and I gave you another answer.
Mhm. Okay.
So yeah, so don't change what you did.
Okay,
You did it
perfect.
correctly.
Okay, good. Whew. I was like, I have to get this down pat. But yeah,
Yes, and and this is I was playing back like what did I hear you say, and so yeah, no, you got it.
okay, perfect.
So go ahead and keep going at your test. We getting out here early today, so you got
Yes,
extra time.
yes. I'm getting through it, and so I'm doing my, like I said, my time with Taisha tomorrow at like my time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So then once that's done, I'll be able to submit everything. So what I'm gonna do is once I do my test tonight, all the paper, I'm gonna start scanning them now. So at least I have them. So the only thing I have to do is submit, because this will be submitted to her, right? To coach already. So I'll just submit the time tomorrow. But all the videos are already in my folder. They're ready to go. I just have
Okay.
I have to just scan the paperwork now to send it
Well,
to her.
let me go tell her that nobody showed up for tonight.
Yeah. Right? Imagine. Girl, I was not missing
She's
this
gonna be like,
meeting.
Andrea wasn't there. Not even Andrea was there tonight, coach.
I know, right? I know, yeah. I'm so like, honestly, it's really, I know once I get the confirmation that I'm certified, I have like a long story behind this, like, because it's just like the amount of distraction that I've been coming up against. It's like the kids yelling, the phone. It's like, oh my, so, but I stayed focused, because I knew,
Correct.
and that is, I actually got to understand what focusing on your goals really and truly look like. Like, I thought I was focusing on my goals before, but you know what I mean? But
Right,
this is really
exactly.
focusing on my goals, like
Correct.
really focused. I'm like, wow, it's a nice experience. Really know what it feels like, you know?
And now
Yeah,
you
so.
like, oh, okay. Like if I could do this for an hour for just one time a week, just really getting in, I know that I can, crush some things.
Yeah.
If I can get me, 2 days out the month where I can just do this, then I know I can do some things.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, but you're doing great things. I'm so proud of you. And
Thank you so much, ChaVonne. Thank you.
I can't wait to see you in the live for Master. So we're gonna have a good old time.
Yeah, so excited. I'm excited. Thank you, ChaVonne. Have a successful night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.